It was a cold night in Los Angeles. Dwayne Johnson, known to the world as The Rock, had just left a charity event for the homeless. The stories he had heard that evening weighed heavily on his heart. As he walked to his car, the city's neon lights reflected off the wet pavement. That's when he saw him, a small boy, no older than 8, curled up next to a trash bin, shivering. The boy's clothes were torn, his shoes barely holding together. But it was the look in his eyes that struck Dwayne the most. A mix of fear, hopelessness, and something haunting. Dwayne crouched down, speaking gently. "Hey, little guy, are you okay?" The boy looked up, clutching a torn photograph. Dwayne's eyes narrowed as he recognized the image, a family that had gone missing years ago. The boy in the photo was the same child standing before him. "Is this you?" Dwayne asked softly. The boy nodded, tears streaming down his face. "Yes, but they're gone now." Before Dwayne could ask more, the boy bolted, disappearing into the labyrinth of narrow streets. Dwayne called out, but the child was gone, leaving only the echo of his footsteps. The next day, Dwayne couldn't shake the image of the boy. He contacted the Los Angeles Police Department, but there was no record of a missing child matching the boy's description. Determined to find answers, Dwayne reached out to Detective Maria Sanchez, a no-nonsense investigator with a reputation for solving cold cases. Maria listened intently. "That photo you described, it matches the Martinez family. They disappeared 5 years ago. The parents were found dead, but their son, Miguel, was never located." Dwayne's heart sank. "Do you think it's him?" Maria hesitated. "It's possible. But if it is, he's been off the grid for years. Someone's been keeping him hidden." Their investigation led them to a tip. The boy had been spotted in one of the city's most dangerous neighborhoods, a place ruled by street gangs. Dwayne knew the risks, but couldn't turn away. He had to find Miguel. As Dwayne and Maria ventured into the neighborhood, they were met with hostility. The streets were lined with graffiti, and the air was thick with tension. They caught the attention of the Black Vipers, a brutal gang controlling the area. The gang's leader, Victor Viper Cruz, approached them with a sneer. "What's a Hollywood star doing in my territory, Johnson? This isn't a place for heroes." Dwayne stood his ground. "I'm looking for a child. His name is Miguel Martinez." Victor laughed. "Even if you find him, you can't save him. He's one of us now." Those words ignited a fire in Dwayne. He and Maria dug deeper, uncovering a horrifying truth. The gang had been using Miguel and other children to run drugs and commit crimes. The boy was a pawn in their twisted game. Their search led them to an abandoned warehouse. Inside, they found Miguel, along with several other children living in squalor. The sight broke Dwayne's heart. The children were malnourished, their spirits crushed by years of abuse. Dwayne and Maria devised a plan to rescue them. With the help of undercover officers, they staged a raid on the warehouse. The confrontation was intense, but Dwayne's strength and determination turned the tide. Victor Cruz was arrested, and the children were freed. Miguel clung to Dwayne, tears streaming down his face. "You came back for me." Dwayne knelt down. "I promised I would, kid. You're safe now." As the dust settled, more details about Miguel's past emerged. His parents had been killed by a rival gang, and he had been kidnapped by the Black Vipers to exploit his innocence. The gang had erased his identity, forcing him into a life of crime. Dwayne made it his mission to ensure Miguel's safety. He worked with Child Protection Services to place Miguel in a loving foster home and enrolled him in therapy to help him heal. Over time, Miguel began to smile again, his laughter a testament to his resilience. Months later, Dwayne and Miguel started a charity called Hope for the Lost, dedicated to helping missing and exploited children. Miguel became the face of the organization, sharing his story to inspire others. His courage touched countless lives, turning his pain into a beacon of hope. At the charity's inaugural event, Dwayne stood before a crowd, his voice filled with emotion. "Sometimes, changing one person's life is as important as changing the world. Miguel taught me that." Miguel, now thriving, hugged Dwayne tightly. "You're my hero!" The crowd erupted in applause. But for Dwayne, the greatest reward was seeing Miguel's smile, a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of compassion. Years later, Miguel graduated high school with honors, his future bright with possibilities. He dreamed of becoming a social worker to help children like himself. Dwayne, now a mentor and father figure, stood by his side, proud of the young man Miguel had become. Their story inspired a movement, bringing attention to the plight of missing and exploited children. Together, they proved that even in the darkest corners of the world, light could prevail. As Dwayne often said, it's not about being a hero, it's about doing what's right, even when it's hard. And in doing so, he and Miguel changed not only their lives, but the lives of countless others. On the 10th anniversary of Hope for the Lost, Dwayne and Miguel reunited for a special gala. The event was attended by hundreds of supporters, including many children whose lives had been transformed by the foundation. As they stood on stage together, Miguel addressed the crowd. "10 years ago, I was lost. But because of the kindness and courage of one man, I found my way. Today, we celebrate not just our success, but the power of hope, love, and second chances." Dwayne stepped forward, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "This isn't just our story. It's the story of every child who has ever felt alone. And as long as there are people who care, there will always be hope." The room erupted in applause, but for Dwayne and Miguel, the greatest reward was knowing that their legacy would live on, in the lives they had touched, the futures they had shaped, and the hope they had ignited. This brings us to the end of this story. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.